Is this a billiard rack? Is this from the 1700s?
What was that used for?
In our last video, we went to an estate sale. We're going to show you some of the items that we left with.
We are going to do a little show and tell of some of the most interesting items that we picked from the estate sale at the historic Yelverton Inn.
We left with all of these items and we want to learn more about it, and we were also very inspired by all of the comments that you left after we released the video, and we were learning so much. You know, is this trench art? Somebody asked that question.
I thought that this was the door from a bank box or some kind of safe, but someone posed that it might be a peephole from Speakeasy.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be that.
I do too. I'm not sure, because it looks like it might be like a deadbolt on the other side, but we're gonna work on researching it.
Could we use a key? Like, could we find a key in our whole box of them and see if that would open it?
I don't know. It's a pretty narrow slit.
Yeah.
More like a file or something. And
so cool.
What is this ram's head?
So this is going to be a participatory video. We'll go through each of these items and what we've learned about them so far, and just questions that we have no answers for yet. These are such special pieces. Like, we go to a lot of estate sales and they're all wonderful in different ways, but this one was like on another level in terms of the history of objects, what they were used for. So, you know, one of my questions about this piece is, you know, are the legs there for a functional reason, or is it an aesthetic reason, or is it both? I mean, I was drawn to it because it had the legs. Where do you want to start? Which piece do you want to start with?
Why don't you want to start with the triangle?
It's all you. This is funny because in the last video, I noticed it hanging on the wall and I was like, wow, that's just like a beautiful work of art. All these things hanging. And then Melissa picked it up and I was really happy that you did.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a triangle. It's a wooden triangle. Doing. It's a wooden triangle. Was it for racking balls in pool billiards? I don't know. It definitely looks and feels very old. It's very well made, very solid.
Yeah, there's nails that...
Yep.
Oh, are they little nails or are they little staples?
Put on my spectacles. Yeah, they look like staples or brads.
It's a cool object, and I think it would look great in a vignette. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have with that. Do you want to talk about this? Let's talk about this one next. I love boxes and caddies. This kind of is a box caddy. This could be from the 1700s. Just a few things that I noticed about it was, you know, it looked like something that someone would carry into a field, and like maybe it was for picking berries and you'd put, you know, some kind of food in it. Also, when I was doing research, it looked like it could be a grain box. I love the feet on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, this handle is painted. It was painted. It's very faded, but it was painted black, and there's stripes.
Like, was it fashioned from something else? That handle to me looks like it might have been part of something else, and they used it to make the handle.
Yeah.
And it's got nice wear.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I like how it's like it's a dowel. You can see it slides in there. There were holes here that it fits snugly in. It doesn't even turn. Actually, there's also nails, flathead nails. So that's holding it in place. It's very well made. Flathead nails all over. Also, when we were looking it up, we both came across, is it American early American or is it Asian? We don't know its origins.
Like a Chinese grain box. That did come up. But that's more questions than answers, but makes it an interesting piece.
Yep.
You want to do these next?
Yeah, I wanted to have another...
Move this so people can see you.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to hide
You
behind
can
the
talk
triangle.
through that. Yeah.
These are bent wood boxes. I collected 3 of them. It's all one piece. You can see there's nails holding it, holding the lid together. This is also all one piece. These pretty, looks like copper nails possibly. This is another one. This one feels a little bit weightier. Same principle here. Bent wood. I love the color on this one. This one also has some interesting features. It comes to a point here, the bent wood, and the same with the lid.
We're kind of doing this on the fly. Just kind of jump in. Why not?
Bent wood boxes were associated with the Shakers and were primarily used for storage of food and household items. Grains, meal, sugar, spices, herbs.
This painting, the reason that I bought it was I thought this was Pan. The god, it was like half human, half goat, and he played an instrument. And then I was like, well, maybe it's like Dionysus. I did think of that, or Bacchus. You have this like satyr figure, and it's half goat, half human, playing flutes with a cherub riding a chariot. Could it be from the 50s, like a mid-century painting? It seems like it might be. I saw a bunch of these little houses on a shelf, and I really like the look of them. It looks like a folk art piece, and upon further examination, it does look like the person who made it used scrap wood, because at first I thought this was like a maker's mark inside here. It says seal of the city of Tampa, Florida, but I think this was like a cigar box. Maybe it was made out of a cigar box, but it's a folk art house. It's got a little thing here for like hanging things. I love it. I wish I had grabbed a couple of others, because I just think they're so cool, like to like sit on a shelf. But I did like this one the best. So, sometimes it's better not to take them all and just to take the one you really like. So that's why I chose that. I liked the brick facing, and I just thought it had some really nice colors, the green and the red. Actually, as I say that, you could vignette this with like Christmas.
Yeah.
If you were so inclined.
Yep. This vase, or vessel, or urn. Oh.
It does have a stamp on
It
it.
does say something inside. I can't tell what it is right now. It may be copper. I think it might be copper. Someone commented in the video, they asked if it was trench art. That I'm not sure.
What's trench art?
It's art that is fabricated by people in the trenches, in the military. We had found in another pic a trench art letter opener.
Yeah. Not knowing what it was.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was.
Just liked it as an object.
Yep, it was just a really cool looking knife, and we looked it up when we got home, and lo and behold, it was trench art from World War II, France, and we actually sold it on Etsy. So oftentimes they're made out of shell casings. A lot of trench art, there's like bullet what do we call it? Bullet casings?
Uh-huh.
No, the shells of
Uh-huh.
bullets made into crosses and crucifix. A lot of letter openers. Sometimes vessels. It could be anything.
Someone who watched the video commented and said, "Is that trench art?" And I honestly hadn't considered it, and I was thinking about tramp art, which is a completely different thing. Very, very different thing. But I like that too. But
Actually, you know what? It says,
what's it say?
it clearly says GYP. I think it's Egypt on the bottom. So
Okay. I was seeing like Middle East when I was looking those up.
yeah,
So it's probably not trench art.
probably not. But it's really beautiful and old.
Yeah.
This is a possibly Staffordshire dog or maybe a spaniel. Very old, very heavy. I believe it's some kind of clay, but it really feels like stone. I want to show the bottom because I've never seen this. Of course, I was looking for a maker's mark, but didn't get that, but got all of these spirals.
Is that the maker's mark? The spirals?
It could be.
Or is that like something practical the person put on there, like to give it texture on the bottom? I don't know. I'm like, what do the spirals mean?
Yeah, it is. It's not mint condition. There's some chips here and along the bottom. That's some age in here, but honestly, that doesn't devalue it to me at all. Really beautiful detail in the glaze. He's an oldie. We believe him to be from the 1700s. At checkout, that's what we were told.
I know that, we've seen Staffordshire dogs, 2 of them together. This one looks like a Staffordshire, but someone did say spaniel. You were saying spaniel, it might be. And it doesn't have quite as much like face detail as the others. And those ones, the only ones I've ever seen have been painted and like porcelain or ceramic.
Right.
But this seems like heavy clay. It almost feels like iron.
Yeah.
Like it has the weight of cast iron.
Yeah.
So,
and it's
someone
not,
asked to see the bottom and if there was a hole in it. There's no hole.
There's no vent. Any thoughts? Has anyone seen this before?
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder. I mean, the Yelverton Inn is a very historic site. George Washington stayed there on his trip from where? From somewhere
To Newburgh?
to Newburgh. Yeah. Both Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr stayed in this inn. You know, you wonder, was this dog on the mantle in their room? Did it watch over them as they slept? Who knows?
That's amazing.
Who knows what
Yeah.
this dog has seen?
Right.
I believe that historic contracts and deeds were signed at this site. There's just so much history there.
On the note of writing, historic documents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can you move that cloche?
The controversial cloche.
Yes, cloche gate. This is a field writing desk, and in a box, and if my research is correct and what I talk to other people about, it could be a Civil War era field writing desk. I love the box. I had a feeling it was possibly a field writing box, but I did not know that it could be from the Civil War. It's just
got
amazing.
This velvet writing surface. This folds in, this folds out. And if I could just turn it around for a moment. It's even angled for ergonomics. Most boxes, field writing desks of this age, there's there's some separation here. This is
this
comes
was
separated.
separated, and I hesitate to even fix it. I thought at first I would, but I'm not going to.
No.
But the I have a relatively old, I don't think it's like Civil War era fountain pen, so I went ahead and put it in there. It's missing a glass insert for the fountain pen ink. I don't know if stamps went in there, or I don't know what went in there, but it's got some really cool, it's really well designed.
Yeah, and it's just amazing that this velvet and the detail, the pattern there.
Oh, the
that you
pattern's
can see.
incredible.
Yeah.
The flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
floral motif.
You know, all handmade.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So that was an exciting thing that we brought out of there. And then I'll jump to the cloche since you mentioned it. This cloche was
Antique cloche.
we have a small table here, so we're doing like
This in.
Ooh! Good catch. We have a big space, but a small table. So I love cloches. We sell them at the flea market a lot. I love finding them and I love selling them. I know a lot of artists who repurpose them, or like decorators repurpose them and put interesting things inside. Yeah, it's just one of those things that I love to find. And I didn't know that Pyrex made cloches. And when I got it home, I was very pleasantly surprised to see the Pyrex label on it. I'm gonna have to touch that to make sure it is in focus. Yeah, so this is the Pyrex etching on the actual cloche. And it has velvet on the inside. It's in really good condition too. Yeah, so it's got velvet on the inside. Unfortunately, when I found it, this one had a bunch of duct tape on it, and it had a doll probably from like the 1980s in it. To me, nothing special. And so I took the duct tape off, and I took the doll out, and I put the doll aside because I just wanted to buy the cloche. I didn't want to buy the doll, and I didn't want to take something I didn't want. I didn't want to take something I would have to sell that I don't want to sell. If it was an antique or like really interesting doll, I would have bought it. Given that it was like newer, I was like, I'm just gonna put it aside. And
She didn't really belong in there.
she didn't belong. Well, no, I don't. Yeah, right, exactly. She was not. Whatever reason, I don't know why someone would put duct tape on this, because now we're gonna have to like take Goo Gone and get this off. I was taking a risk. You looked at me and you were like, oh, I don't know about that, right?
Yeah, it did give me pause.
Melissa just looked up when Pyrex started, and it was 1915, you said?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes. It was initially marketed for laboratory glassware.
Oh, hence probably how this came
Yeah.
into being.
Right.
So it's not older than 1915. I don't regret taking the doll out for someone else to buy. I do regret putting the doll in the corner. Nobody puts the doll in the corner. Somebody said in the
Nobody
comments.
puts baby in the corner. She shouldn't have been facing like it. When I saw the footage, I was like, she looks like she's in trouble. Like the teacher scolded her and made her stand in the corner.
Oh.
And that hurts a little bit. But
I feel bad about that because I didn't like it. I honestly like.
But you weren't trying to punish her either.
I wasn't trying to punish her, but maybe on an unconscious level, I was, because I didn't like her. You know, like I didn't like the doll. Aesthetically, it didn't do anything for me, and I just didn't want to come home with it. So maybe on an unconscious level, I did face it against the wall. I don't know. Maybe I'm an evil person. I don't think so. But I thought I was doing the right thing. I know it did spur some comments, and I don't know. I felt like I wanted to comment on it to make it clear why I did what I did. I thought I was doing the right thing, not taking something I didn't want. So anyway, I love this cloche. It's wonderful. I'm going to take Gugon and clean it all up. And it's a hard one to part with.
Yeah.
I like the shape of it. We usually find like squatter ones, shorter ones that are wider. And the fact that this one's tall, it's just, and it has the Pyrex. I did look this up. The Pyrex ones go for way more than the ones that aren't Pyrex. I'm not going to go on the record and say how much, but they go for more.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. It's cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right. What else do we want to talk about?
Do we want to talk about this vessel?
Oh, yes.
Now, is that brass? Do you think it's brass? It's got the, what is it? Maybe, not zinc, nickel lined brass? Because it's, the inside is a little bit more silvery. So it might be the nickel lined brass. I think it might be a mortar, like a mortar and pestle. At first I thought a planter.
Really? It's a mortar?
Well,
that's cool.
When I did from Google Image, these were coming up as potentially mortars, which could make sense. It feels like it's weighted. It like perhaps the base is weighted. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy. I love it. I love the look of it.
There's a mark on the bottom, Otto Pardenheimer, maker, New York. I couldn't find much on him, but he was associated with these similarly styled spittoons, but they're a completely different shape. A spittoon is more rounded and then comes out at the top, fans out. Because if you think about it, you don't want to be able to look inside the spittoon and see what's in there. Nobody wants to see that. No. So, but I couldn't find anything this shape. So it looks like perhaps it was an old mortar. I wonder what the pestle was made of. Wood?
Yeah, maybe wood. I wonder if we have a big pestle. We could put it in there. I want to see it. I want to complete the story, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it.
Otto Pardenheimer.
These are the candle scissor snuffer. And I know some of you were screaming at me through your devices going, why are you leaving the tray? Why are you leaving the tray behind? Geez, I don't know. Sometimes you're just like not thinking when you're at a sale and you're just in the fray of it all. I loved the scissors, and for some reason I thought that they were just placed on a tray that wasn't really connected to it, but as the comments have stated, you know, it was. So I will not make that mistake again. We also got this caddy, much like boxes and cloches. I will never pass up, and neither were you. I know you really like caddies as well. And you know, is this from the 1700s?
This feels old. I love the wear on it and how smooth and rounded it is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Look at how that's a rounded piece of wood on the edge. And it has the rounded handle.
Yes. Right, like that? Oh, you have a good eye, like attention to detail. I miss that. It's a great caddy. It's a smaller one. I don't ever find small caddies. Yeah. They're always larger. And so I think this one is special because of that, like in terms of like display or use.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, I love this.
Oh, this one. Kelly also found this Adirondack frame. Here, I'm just going to bring the corner. That's typical Victorian Adirondack frame. Has these beautiful buttons. Well, I guess they're not buttons. They look like buttons, though. But they remind me of buttons.
They're glass.
Yeah, and
they're glass and metal, and with a little bit of like a little nail that gets nailed in there. Sometimes these are missing, and someone could just hang this on the wall and like put something in the middle. Like, I don't know. To me, like at first I was like, oh, it's missing. It's missing the glass. It's missing.
Yeah.
But you could just use it as it is. Oh, and then that painting.
Lastly,
you found that one, right?
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think this was maybe upstairs in the bedroom. Beautiful. Oil painting.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers in a vase. It's just really simple and lovely.
We collect a lot of these representations of, well, like still lifes of flowers.
It's in a nice wooden frame. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just gonna put it over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know. This is what we know and don't know and have questions about with all these objects, right?
What else we should talk about?
Oh, luckily I
was-
have it in arm's length.
In the arm's reach.
This was actually one of the last things that we pulled out of the grain store, the general store.
And it's a grain shovel, which
I call it a Franken shovel.
Yeah, which had cracked and was sewn back together with this metal wire. It's just incredible. It just makes it so
it's amazing.
special.
I think it's my favorite piece we
And
pulled
if I
out of
could,
it. Yes,
super heavy.
no.
I just also want to point out that one of the things that another kind of instance of where the imperfection is what to me makes it so interesting. This top is broken. It would have had a normal handle here. There you go. Can you see it better? And this broke, but it's like devil horns, and I just think it looks so cool. I just think it's such a cool look.
It really has a story. It's a shovel with a story, right?
Yeah.
Not a shovel that is all together, but broke. Like, first of all, it's a grain shovel. It was carved out of wood. Hand carved out of wood. I mean, it does really, truly amaze me. And then it broke, and they stitched it back together. And mended it. And used it, to shovel grain for orders. Mm-hmm. In the store that we were in, when we were picking in the antiques downstairs, and then when we went upstairs, and the man who runs the estate sale showed us how the pulley system worked to pull goods up. Just incredible. This is an amazing piece.
Yeah.
We were going back and forth whether to Murphy's oil soap it, to clean it, and we decided
leave it as
don't be silly. Leave it as it is. The dust on it should stay there. We have seen grain shovels that are polished.
Yeah, and they look beautiful.
They do look nice, but I think this is going to stay as it is.
For us, I don't know. I think we're keeping it.
We are?
I don't know. At least for now.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll sell it.
Yeah.
It might be. It may be for sale, but we're not going to be the ones to shine it up.
Right.
Yeah.
So, since you all took such an interest in the video and everything that we found, and we really truly value that the community that's grown out of the channel, and all of the expertise and information that you share with us, we just really appreciate the time you take to share your knowledge with us about these things and your love of things.
I think Kelly just said it, but I feel I'm humbled at the comments when people say how much they learn from us, because I feel like we learn even more from you, and it's just really, really mind blowing, and thank you, and we're gonna list all of these things on Instagram, do a special Instagram sale, so you'll be able to purchase them if you're interested.
Great. It's a nice cloche.